Do the clones feel remorse for Order 66? I'm Nate, and this is my YouTube channel. Today, let's look at Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 3, The Solitary Clone. Overall, I thought this episode was immensely complex as it dove into the issue of thought freedom and what psychological oppression does. Episode 3 was released on January 11th, 2023 on Disney+. In this episode, Rampart assigns Crosshair to Commander Cody and dispatches them to the former separatist planet Desix to rescue the Imperial Governor and oust the anti-Imperial government. The script was written by Amanda Rose Munoz, who's written 3 episodes of Bad Batch now. The episode starts on Desix, which looks like a desolate planet being mined for its resources. Usually these types of operations in the Star Wars universe are run using slaves. But here we find a scene that reflects a different society. It's a free society. There is work being done, but no slavers are barking orders, and the people do not look malnourished. A child approaches a mother to get some water, and we are given the impression that this is in fact a free world. But then an Imperial shuttle arrives. An envoy approaches Desix Governor Tawny Ames, stating he is now the governor and she needs to hand over the city, but she and her people fight back. We then jump to Coruscant, where Crosshair wakes up and heads to the chow hall to get breakfast. After sitting down, the 2 clones who are already at the table get up and leave him. This shows that the Regs don't like Crosshair much, most likely because he's a war lunatic. But I think there is more to it here. I think that they don't like him because they know he returned to the Empire after surviving Kamino. He was a free man. The Empire thought he was dead, yet he came back. Based on the direction of the episode and the question about Order 66 that we'll get to in a moment, this makes a lot of sense. Then before Crosshair gets a chance to take a bite of his food, he's called away to Admiral Rampart's office. We're only 2 scenes into the episode, and already we are getting 2 different commentaries on freedom and oppression. In Admiral Rampart's office, we find out that Crosshair was stranded on Kamino for 32 days. With this, we can see how loyal Crosshair is to the Empire, but Rampart is clearly suspicious of him because he's a clone. He gives Crosshair a new assignment, but it isn't to lead. He is to head to the battle memorial where he will meet his new commander. At the memorial, he is greeted by Commander Cody, whose armor is now colorless. Though he still has the markings he had before, they now lack the character they once did. Crosshair notes that he didn't recognize Cody, and Cody asks about the others. He heard they went rogue. Crosshair notes that Regs have gone AWOL as well. Cody then states that a lot of clones have been questioning Order 66, to which Crosshair calls them traitors. Cody follows up by stating, "Good soldiers follow orders," but we also see a hesitation in Cody, like he didn't expect Crosshair to be so, unrelenting. When Cody mentions that many clones have issues with Order 66, it points to the fact that the clones were designed to have agency, to think for themselves. Cody even says this at the end of the episode. The clones were effective in battle because they were designed and trained to think for themselves on the battlefield. This is one of the many reasons why combat units have so many disciplinary problems. A kid comes out of high school, goes to boot camp, then is trained to make split-second life and death decisions based on how they perceive the situation around them. It's expected of a soldier to think for himself and not rely on receiving an order to do everything. As a result, young soldiers often make tiny decisions on liberty that have huge consequences. Back to the episode, I think that the inhibitor chips didn't control the clones as much as they inhibited them from their free agency when they are triggered. And with the chips still in their heads, many clones are being kept from truly seeing how wrong Order 66 was. They've lost their Jedi friends, but the chip is preventing them from seeing the loss as anything other than just. At the same time, they're sensing loss and feeling regret, but don't know where to place it. With this scene, we get confirmation that the Bad Batch will indeed confront the question of whether they will save their brother clones. But something else that interested me in the scene was the battle memorial. Why did the writer have Crosshair and Cody meet there? Why not in a hangar or a briefing room? The battle memorial only appears 2 other times, both in the Clone Wars. Its first appearance was in the episode The Jedi Who Knew Too Much, and the second in the episode The Wrong Jedi. These episodes were part of a 4-episode series in which Ahsoka is framed for an attack on the Jedi Temple. Ahsoka is kicked out of the Jedi Order, and she attempts to hunt down the real attacker. Throughout the episodes, Ahsoka is forced to question her loyalty to the Order, and eventually, when she is exonerated and invited back, she refuses. According to Wikipedia, the battle memorial was erected to honor the fallen clones from the Battle of Geonosis, which was the first battle of the Clone Wars. Now, as Cody and Crosshair stand next to it, the wars are over and the two veterans represent the entire clone army as they engage in a new battle. And like Ahsoka, Cody is questioning his loyalty. One thing that comes up often with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan is PTSD. In popular media, it's often assumed that any veteran who is struggling mentally or emotionally is suffering from PTSD or even mild traumatic brain injury. But often what is troubling the veteran is nothing of the sort. It's the loss of the camaraderie that comes with war, the close bonds that are built between men, and the loyalty to the cause that brought them together, as well as their loyalty to each other. But even more troubling to a veteran is when the government they fought for changes its tune by redefining what its goal is, which can possibly pull the rug out from underneath the reason for the veteran's loyalty in the first place. Or the government can turn its back completely on the veteran. In this scene, we can see hesitation in Cody. He thought he was fighting for the Republic to free the galaxy from the separatists, but now it just seems like all he did was conquer territory for an empire that would like to see him and his brother clones go away. Cody and Crosshair then head to Desix, where we get a battle reminiscent of the Clone Wars series. They fight through an onslaught of battle droids and make it to the inner sanctum where the hostage is being held. Cody negotiates to get the hostage free, but unlike the Clone Wars, where Cody would be the hero for resolving the situation by minimizing death, the Imperial Governor orders Tawny Ames to be executed. Cody is suddenly confronted with the fact that his freedom as a commander to control the battlefield is gone. The Empire doesn't want someone who thinks and solves problems. They want someone who only acts, a true believer. They want a battle droid. As Cody hesitates, Crosshair does the deed and kills Tawny Ames, to which the new Imperial Governor orders her body to be hung in the city square for all to see. Back on Coruscant, at the battle memorial, Cody asks Crosshair if he thinks the Empire is making the galaxy better. Crosshair reminds him that soldiers do what needs to be done, but Cody rebuts him. More specifically, he rebuts the idea that good soldiers follow orders. He states that clones are different from battle droids because clones make their own decisions and they have to live with them too. In a final scene, Crosshair is called to Rampart's office once again for another mission. He's to report to a new commander. When asked why not Commander Cody, Rampart responds that Commander Cody has deserted. This episode firmly establishes the theme for the season of freedom and what the cost for it is, and it sets the Bad Batch on the road to freeing their brother clones from the oppression of not being able to mourn the loss of their Jedi friends and choose another path in life. With Commander Cody on the run, it's no doubt that the Bad Batch are going to get a call from Rex soon. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content and the deeper discussion into the themes found in Star Wars, please hit the like button and subscribe to keep me in your feed.